Welcome back. NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre is facing new questions about his possible connection to an alleged $77 million welfare fraud scheme. Those new questions are also bringing new fallout. ABC News' Steve Osunsami has the latest.
Favre puts it up.
Brett Favre is considered one of the best NFL quarterbacks of all time, and the fallout over the growing welfare scandal in Mississippi has moved SiriusXM to put its weekly radio show on hold. State investigators allege that a group of some of Mississippi's most influential people spent more than $77 million that should have gone to poor families on pet projects like this volleyball arena at the university where the Hall of Famer played college football and where his daughter played volleyball.
We've seen a ton of welfare money that's intended for the poorest folks here in the state of Mississippi flowing to people who just simply did not need it.
In text messages shared in court filings, there are conversations in 2017 before the volleyball center opened where the former quarterback is asking former Governor Phil Bryant for money to build it. And then more text messages 2 years later, this time asking the former governor to help pay for an indoor football practice facility at the same school that was never built, writing that it would give USM's football program instant credibility and USM football will become relevant again. The governor wrote back that use of these funds is tightly controlled. Any improper use could result in violation of federal law. According to court filings, Favre didn't give up, writing the former governor again about the new volleyball center a few months later, saying, "We obviously need your help big time, and time is working against us." The former governor responded, "But we have to follow the law. I am too old for federal prison."
The DOJ is definitely closing in on others involved in this misappropriation scheme.
Favre's attorney says the football legend never knew where the money he was asking for was coming from, saying he only has good intentions with every charitable endeavor he has organized. The former governor has also not been charged or accused of any wrongdoing in this case. And to underline this, Diane, this is about money meant for the poorest people in the poorest state. Diane?
All right, Steve Osunsami, thanks for that. And ABC News legal contributor and host of the Law and Crime Network, Brian Buckmeyer, joins me now for more on this. Brian, what do you make of these text messages with former Governor Phil Bryant? He's denying any involvement.
Yeah, the text messages really tie Brett Favre to this whole scheme because we've already seen two individuals be convicted of crimes in regard to this, that being Nancy New as well as John Davis. And so when you see these text messages between them saying, hey, if the media finds out about this money, will they find out where it came from? Or even these reassurances that he was given, it seems like Brett Favre knew a lot more about where this money was coming from and that it wasn't meant for what he was trying to do.
And you mentioned Nancy New, who's charged in connection with this scandal. She is now cooperating with prosecutors as part of a plea deal. So how might prosecutors be utilizing her during this investigation?
So the text messages that we're all talking about and that you showed on the screen just a few moments ago, that really leads to a foundational argument to say, hey, there's got to be more here. What happened in the phone calls? What happened in the in-person meetings? And Nancy New, along with John Davis, who was the head of the Mississippi Department of Human Services, who just got 32 years in jail last year, those two who've already said they're going to cooperate with this investigation, they're going to be giving a lot more information than just these text messages. And maybe we will see Phil Bryant, who is the former governor, face charges, or Brett Favre and others who receive these funds face charges as well. But it's really going to come down to those communications and the information they give the DOJ.
Now, John Davis, the man in charge of Mississippi's welfare agency during the time of this scandal, he has agreed to plead guilty to fraud charges, and he could serve a maximum of 15 years in prison. So what could this mean for Brett Favre?
Yeah. It's bad because there's a strong connection between people who have already pled guilty and are going to serve serious jail time and Brett Favre. Now, his attorney has come out and said, hey, when you look at that message and he's asking about whether or not the media is going to find out that he borrowed this money, that's a philanthropic individual saying, I don't want people to know my name is out there. I don't want them to know that I got this money. But everyone else is looking at it and saying, this looks very incriminating. What else does John Davis and Nancy New know that can't be shown in text messages? And that's going to be very detrimental to Brett Favre if it's a negative.
Brian Buckmeyer, we appreciate your analysis as always. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Diane.
Coming up, with fall upon us, what does this mean for the pandemic? Dr. Alok Patel is here to break it down for us next.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.